that will give you everything in the next 2 weeks. To weekly newsletter. That's it for my news and announcements. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to announce to the net? Please go ahead. Nothing heard. Okay, let's take some general check-ins, regular check-ins. If you would like to check into the Burlington Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net, please go ahead, B3RWJ. Okay, there was some noise with you, but I think that was Michael, VA3QAC. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Chris, and everyone else on the net. Hopefully you can hear me a little better now. I'm using my Baofeng, which is a tri-band. I was listening on the 220, but I guess don't think it's been linked tonight, so I've come back to the VHF. Hopefully that's the case. Anyway, back to you, Chris.
Yep, we don't have the 220 machine linked up tonight. We're just kind of going easy on it. We have some high SWR we're figuring out. Thanks for checking in, Michael. Any other check-ins for the Burlington Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net? Please go ahead.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Romeo, Foxtrot, Vern in Waterdown.
And Vern, VA3CRF. Good to hear you. How are things with you?
Not too bad, Chris. Hope things are well with you. I'm just out for a walk this evening. Normally, I'm not free on Wednesday nights. I volunteer at a youth group. So I'm glad to be able to check in this evening. Hope you're copying me okay, because I'm out with a handy talkie. I'm using low power just to conserve the old battery pack. Back to you.
Yep, you're coming in loud and clear, full quieting, no problems whatsoever. And we're doing fine. We're almost feeling normal after we were away 3 weeks in the Caribbean. So, well, dealing with, being back here and it's winter still. We need that to go away. Spring needs to show up. Thanks for checking in, Brent. Any other check-ins for the Burlington Amateur Radio Club Net? Please go ahead. We had someone key up, but no audio. Any check-ins for this edition of the Burlington Amateur Radio Club Net? Please go ahead. Last call. If you'd like to check in, please go ahead before we shut it down for this week. B3RWJ. Okay, well, at 7:48, this has been the Burlington Amateur Radio Club Weekly Check-ins and Information Net for March 15th, 2023. Including me, we had 14 check-ins, so a little quieter, but hopefully that means everyone is attending the Hamfest planning meeting on Zoom. Thanks to everyone who checked in. If you have any feedback about how I run the net, good, bad, or otherwise, please let me know. My call sign is Victor Echo 3 Romeo Whiskey Juliet. I am on QRZ.com, so you can look up my email and send me any feedback or suggestions. Thanks to everyone who checked in. It wouldn't be a net without your participation. Reminder again, our Fusion net is Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern, and our Fusion repeater is 442.0375. And our experimental all-star node is on 146.410 Simplex. There's a tone on that that's the same as what we use on our repeaters, 131.8 hertz. So experiment with it, play with it, connect to things, and if you run into any trouble, reach out to me or several of us for assistance. Catch everyone next Wednesday, the RWJ 73.
Copy on scene. Sure.
Is my antenna working better now? I've tried just about everything just to see what works. And glad you found your connection there. I think that's what happened to me, Lee. Barrel connector. I didn't have all the there on the connector, so I just redid it and it was okay. So I think that's what I did. VE3 PFZ WA3ZDI.
WA3ZDI, VE3TFZ, yeah. Getting his master's degree. Anymore, like I used to. Piece of paper, and these things get very complex, depending upon what kind of silliness you want to get into. I had a question for you, Chris. You said something about page 114. I'm not sure what you were referring to, what document that was. Was it the manual? Call sign. I'm just asking, anybody out there with a call sign? KR4IS, Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach gives his every 30 seconds.
Yeah, I guess too weak, I can't hear him, I guess.
No. You get your head out of your bone, SDR.
I think maybe they run like 500 watts when they're talking, and then they kick the amp off and turn RF down the power to like a 1 watt and give the call sign. You think that could be happening? I don't know. I'm just asking. I don't know. I haven't heard a call sign. Been here a while. Sitting here with a pen in my hand and a piece of paper in front of me. Looking to write down one. WKGIS. Hey, I can copy CW. Yeah, I can hear you. Do it again. You're not in Italy. Don't even give me that. Does that mean you can't give a call sign?
They're just pushing the hammer down. That's all he's doing. Call sign read on KF9D. And I think you're all right, Guy.
KF9D, I hear you, but I mean, I've had some excruciating QRMs. One person says the call sign out of the excruciating QRM I've been having in the last 20 minutes. My apologies. KF9D, KR4IF, Virginia Beach.
Well, KR4IS, whatever the hell your call sign is, you just barged in here on an operating frequency, you little faggot from Fag Beach.
Yeah, okay, Darren. Very well. Yeah, somebody else was keying up on you, but I did catch Darren. What state are you in? I mean, physically.
Well, here you jackass, because you barged in here on a busy frequency, you little fag beach boy. Sure your ass. He said that, Jeff.
Hey, they don't bother me. I'm a 62-year-old man. They can't be messing with me. KF9D, Darren, which state are you in?
I don't know what state he's in. You're not going to hear it, though. What his QTH is.
Indiana?
No, you got that wrong. He's in a cornfield, Minnie. No.
I'm kind of facing your way. The way I got this antenna turned today is here in Indiana. But I'll tell you what, man, there's some big strappers out there right now. Woo! Big strappers.
It's all good.
And I'm giving you just about everything I got, man. Just shy of 1,500. Well, less than 1,300 for the amp. 10 Tech Omni 7 for the radio, and I've got a lazy dipole antenna that I've taken the ropes from the end, hanging from a 90-foot tower, and kind of worked them around more east and west than north and south, so I can't hear. I wouldn't hear the Florida stations, but I can still hear.
What kind of amplifier?
The chicken van is down on 28 acres.
Yeah. Jeff, you might as well have carried your ass on out of here, boy.
There must be 15, 20 people keying up without a call sign right now.
What's your call sign, pal?
I've done given it a bunch of times, so even in the last 10 minutes.
Go ahead and give it again.
Half a dozen times, probably. KR4IF. KL4 Virginia. Looking for an amateur radio operator with a call sign, CQ. a real amateur radio operator with a call sign. All others, all bootleggers, and please stand by. Please stand by. Let's see if I can work a real amateur radio operator with a real call sign, not a fake one. KR4IS, Virginia Beach.
Good luck. You're in Corman, Tigerville Beach.
Again.
Yeah, Virginia Beach. You're so drunk. I wouldn't even call myself a real amateur radio. You get on there drunk ass every night.
Well, half of that is true. But I do not get on here every night. Typically, I get drunk every other night. So let's get it all straight, man. Hey, and I'm not even supposed to talk to you. You don't have a call sign. This is KR4IS. Anybody out there with a real call sign? You can show me a fake call sign and it might fool me and I'll write it down. And I guess that's okay. This is KR4IS calling CQ for anybody with a real true call sign. I'm basically beaming east and west from Virginia Beach. Hello, radio.
No.
RGAX coming in, Kim.
You were invited. You were not in.
KD4 Nancy. I heard you way in the background. You're about 5 and 5, maybe. Okay.
No.
RGAX coming at you there.
Man, you think this was a Friday night or Saturday night on 7200. Look at there. KR4IS, Virginia Beach, calling CQ for a real.
Okay, good evening and welcome. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, opening the Amateur Radio Exchange Group, AREG, for Wednesday, March the 15th, 2023. Today marks 1,539 weeks that AREG has been on the air consecutively. My name is Chuck, and my station is located in East Hamilton. This net is on every Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. and ending at 10 p.m. local time here on 146.430 megahertz. And yes, okay. And we also stream the net live on YouTube, so people who tune in can hear how they sound into my station, see their signal strength, and see my station. Just type my call into the YouTube search box, again, VA3CJZ, and look for us live or tonight under the title AREG Week 1539. Finally, we ask that you please leave a 2-second delay between transmissions to allow others to break in. May I now have check-ins for this evening's AREG?
Victor Echo 3, Kilo, Mike, Quebec.
Victor Echo 3, Golf Bravo Delta.
Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta.
All right. Okay, we'll start with 3 stations. And so we have KMQ, GBD, and VAD. Let's go and say hello to Mike, VE3KMQ. Come on in, Mike. I've been chasing you all over the bands this weekend. I could hear you all over the place. I had fun. I hope you did too. Come on in.
Yeah, good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net this evening. Yeah, you're right. I too was listening to you. You were either ahead of me or behind me, but had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Mike. In the last, in the week before the contest, I had only a total of 88 countries. And by the time after the contest was over, I had 103 countries. So that's, 15 new countries in a span of 7 days. So it was a lot of fun. I still don't have my Master of South America yet, but we'll get there soon. Anyways, how are you adjusting to the time change? I find I'm waking up a little bit earlier, I think, that I used to. But overall, it's not bad.
Yeah, okay. I really have never been bothered too much by the time change, either in the fall or in the spring, back or forward. I don't know. It's, a little bit of difference with the amount of daylight in the morning, of course. It's not as bright when you get up, typical time you get up, but doing okay. Listen, Chuck, while I've got you, I want to ask you a question. On QRZ, I noticed that a few times now you have, or maybe it's the system that automatically does it, and I guess that's my question to you, the request for confirmation. Is that something you're doing manually, or
Yes.
is that an automatic request that comes through that for confirmation?
Yeah, Mike, I'm sorry about that. It's done manually on this end. The way I've got my QRZ page is 200 contacts per page. And sometimes I just have so many that I just do the whole thing. I'm just trying to get my numbers up, and I'm sorry if I'm giving you repeat requests for confirmation there. Just ignore them.
Yeah, no, not a problem. It's just that, ultimately it's a little bit difficult to confirm it because I only maintain my logs for HF contacts. I do not log any VHF contacts that I have. So no, I was just wondering on that, and so yeah, I can either ignore it. Actually, I think I did confirm one a while back, but obviously I had no log to confirm it, so I just based it on probability, if you will. So no, I just thought I'd ask the question there, Chuck. So not an issue, just a query, I guess. Back to you.
Yeah, fair enough there, Mike. I think those ones that I do ask for confirmation, I try not to. I had an issue at one point. I was logging my excuse me, AREG net check-ins into the QRZ by accident, and so I tried to clean them all up and just leave the ones that I have for any UHF VHF contests, and that's what I think I got to still work on, eliminating some of those AREG check-ins there. But I thought I got most of them.
Yeah, okay. As I said, not an issue. Just thought I'd ask the question. Yeah, for me, I really only use the logging portion of QRZ for stations and more typically countries that I want to or would like to seek a confirmation out of. I don't log my every contact into it as some people do. I managed to use the log for old men and also the N1 MM Plus for contesting contacts. That seems to be working out for me, but I haven't had it long, just maybe a couple months.
Oh, yeah. Right on. Well, like I said, when I was first logging these, HF contacts, and then I had the logbook contacts, and somehow they got mixed in, they got added in, and I even had a couple of other guys there comment on that, and I'm slowly getting rid of all the 2 meter FM contacts there on QRZ. So my apologies again, but that is the situation there, Mike. And so don't worry about it if it happens again. So other than that, things going okay?
Yeah, they are. Hoping for some warmer weather, which I think we'll get in a couple of days. know, I think we all can attest to we've had enough snow, shoveling and otherwise, but seems to be taking a few days to melt it all down. But I'm sure it'll happen. That's basically it for me, Chuck. I'll be listening along for a little bit. Back to you.
Okay, Mike. Yeah, outstanding. I also feel the same way. I want to get out there. I want to go and do stuff out in my backyard, but not when it's got a blanket of that white stuff on there. So come on, the melt. Let's have a quick melt. We're getting more sunshine now. Today was actually the longest day of straight sunshine. We've had 11 hours today of sunshine. I know because I looked on when I look at the Weather Network, I usually look to see how many hours of sunlight we get. So 11 hours today, the longest so far. So hope you enjoyed it. Okay, Mike, we'll clear with you. VE3KMQ. Have a great one. Thanks for checking in. Let's go to our next check-in, which is George, VE3GBD. Come on in, George.
Not much to report there, but yeah, just wait to key up and say hello, and like I said, not much to report.
Oh, okay. So you're like me then, just waiting for that nice weather to come, right?
You got that right. You got that right. I'm just waiting, and go take a, wee willie out for a pee.
Yeah, well, right now you could write your name and in that yellow snow. Okay, George. Well, thanks for checking in, my friend. Are you going to stick around?
Oh, yeah, I'll probably be sticking around for a little bit.
Okay, very good then. That reminds me, I got to turn my squelch down so I can hear some distant stations out there. All right, so we'll clear with George, VE3GBD, and let's go and say hello to Arpad, Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta. Come on in, Arpad.
Yeah, good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net. This is Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta. Just testing the crossband. I'm using my little handy walkie-talkie here and set up on the crossband on 446.125. Just, you guys sounding good. Seems to be it's coming through just fine. And I think the crossband on the 2-meter side set up on, I think it's on 10 watt or something. And on the 440 side, it's only half watt, not even that. Back to you, Chuck.
Yeah, very good there, Arpad. If anyone is watching the YouTube live stream, you can see the signal strength there. Arpad, you were full strength, and it sounds a little bit different. It kind of, how can I put it? It almost sounds like those guys in the circus. They used to have a cone that they would talk out of. It almost sounds like that.
Yeah, Roger that. That could be because I'm using the handy walkie-talkie, and it is a waterproof device. So usually what they do is they put a plastic element front of the microphone. Probably that's what I hear. Yeah, the handheld is an ID52 made by ICOM.
Yeah, a good radio. Yeah, no, there's nothing right. It's nice and loud and clear. It's just got that different sound there. So good job. So what are you up to this evening?
Well, I'm going to check into the Toronto AREG net. Uwe is running it, and I guess I will be watching some movies or something like that. Relaxing. Worked too hard today.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, well, yeah, take a break, and I do appreciate you checking in, Arpad, and you have a great rest of the evening, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again very soon.
Yeah, 73, Chuck, and you have a good net, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Victor Alpha 3, Victor Alpha Delta, we'll be monitoring.
There we go. Okay, S2 noise level. The squelch is down. And so we'll clear with VA3, VAD. Let's see who else is out there would like to join us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is week 1,539 consecutive weeks that AREG has been on the air. Longest running Simplex Net in the Hamilton area. Any new check-ins, please come now.
Victor Alpha 3, India Mike Whiskey, would you believe?
Victor Alpha 3 November, Charlie Alpha, go uniform.
Okay, I did hear a couple of stations there, and I think somebody was doubling. But so far, I've got IMW, November Charlie Alpha, and Charlie Echo uniform. Anyone else?
Victor Alpha 3, November Fox Lima.
All right, November Fox Lima. Nice loud audio. Excellent. All right, well, let's start with that and go up to our friend up on the mountain, Victor Alpha 3, Indy Mike Whiskey. Mac, come on in.
You know what, Chuck? I'm just going to stand by, and I'll let you take Art first. Let's bring in KCI in case he's time sensitive and headed for the pillow. Roger?
Yeah. No, I didn't even hear Art tonight, but hopefully I will once I unkey. So let's go ahead and call VE3, Kilo, Charlie, India. Come on in.
You're up, Art. Go ahead.
I can't hear anybody.
Okay, you got the mic. Go ahead. I'll relay for you.
V3 BK.
Rick, you're acknowledged. We're trying to get Art in here. There, Mac was going to relay.
Yep, roger that. I just tell Art I can hear him.
Okay, it's your turn. Go ahead. I'll relay for you for the net.
No, I'm just calling in for the net and everything else I got here. I just put in my Discord system for one tonight. I'm ready for bed. So another day, I just do a quick check-in.
Okay, roger that. So Chuck, Art's going to be a quick in and out tonight. So anybody that wants to say hello and goodbye to him, this is your chance. So Art, I also heard, what's his name? He talks a little bit too much. What's his name? Oh, it's Rick. Yeah. The big kahuna, Bravo Kilowatt. Art, did you want to say hi to Rick?
I'm okay. I'm going to get ready for bed.
Okay, roger that. Rick, did you have anything for Art before he goes to bed?
No, hey Art, how are you doing? Are you copying me okay there, over?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I set up the radio a different way. I've got it sit in front of the window over here on a table now. Does it sound any better?
I don't know. I'm not actually at the radio. I can hear you. That's all that matters. And just thought I'd say hello. And hey, did our friend Christian ever show up?
Negative.
Okay, well, that answers that question. Anyway, I'm sitting here in the wings, waiting to check in there, Chuck. So, anyway, Art, 73, good night. Have a good night, and we'll talk to you later. B3 KCI, B3 BK.
Rick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he showed up here once. He was supposed to show up here a second time, and he was too busy, and phone number was strictly went into the machine, and that's it.
Yeah, well, hey, he's a busy guy. That's all I can say. And I know that he's been doing some examinations for the club, for amateur radio. So who knows? You got to get him when you can.
Yeah, well, as long as I'm getting down that way nice and clear, and everybody can hear me, or that letters that doesn't on the channel tonight.
Yeah, okay, you're coming in here pretty good, Ern. I'm looking at my needle now. I don't know if you're down a bit or not. Go ahead, give me another transmission.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, you're definitely coming in here good, and I think Chuck maybe heard you too. anyway, we'll turn back to Net, and good to hear you in there, Art. So, Chuck, did you hear Art there? Could you pick him up there, over?
Yes, thank you, Rick. And Mac, thanks again for relaying. But we can now hear Art coming in, a little bit noisy. S5 peaked at S6. And I think he said he moved his antenna to the table or something like that. So whatever you did there, Art, it's better than when you first keyed up. And so I heard everything you said, my friend. You're getting ready for bed. And so, yeah, the days are getting longer and we're getting more sunshine. If we can just get rid of that snow. Roger? All right. Well, I guess it's one way there, Mac. If you want to tell Art, I said hello and thanks for checking in, and have a good sleep.
Roger that. So Art, Chuck came back to you to say he could hear you with a little bit of noise, and your follow-up transmissions were much clearer than your first key up. So we'll bid you 7-3s. That's basically coming from Net Control. 7-3s, have a great evening, an excellent night's rest, and we'll look forward to hearing from you next week. Anything further before you go, Art?
Negative. I just couldn't hear him in there at all. Also, he heard unregulated static.
Okay, roger that. Yep. I'll have to send down a bucket of antenna wax for Chuck, and we'll see if we can get things cleaned up. 7-3s, enjoy the dreams and all the hooties and that you're going to watch in your nightmares. 7-3s, Art.
Yeah, I only wish those nightmares, I wish it was cleaned up so I avoid the nightmares and the faculty, so that'd be even better yet. Heavy trees, everybody on the channel, and we'll call it tonight. Bye for now. Yeah, 83 KCI calling the night. Doesn't have that's just like
73, Art.
7-3s, Art. Careful what you wish for, because once they come, they never go away. Enjoy that peace and quiet while you got it. All right, Chuck, I'm here, I'm listening, and goodness gracious, what else? Looking forward to, what do you call it? On this day in history. Anyways, I won't hold the frequency open too long because, you know, there's only so much RF power that can be circulated in this city. So I'll let you go ahead and pick up Rick. Back to you, Net Control.
Okay, Mac, very good. So we'll chat a little bit longer next time round. And actually, the next person on the list is Wade, VA3NCA. Come on in, Wade.
VA3CJZ, VA3NCA. Good evening, Chuck, and good evening, everybody on net. Yeah, there was a block there where my signal to you was very, very noisy, but it cleared up like clouds clearing. It cleared right up when you came to call me. So hoping that I'm making it through as good as you're making it to me at this time. Yeah, I didn't do much radio today, unfortunately, because it was a work from work day. So got a little bit in there, and I had the regulars. Mac, I was chasing you a few times, and a few other folks lining up behind Stephen there, and a few others. So managed to get a few contacts, but by and large, I was stuck with work stuff all day. So other than that, now I get to come home and spend a little time with the AREG net here, which is always the highlight of the Wednesday nights. Yeah, not much else right now, so I'm going to listen along. I will be here for the duration, but yeah, I'll send it back up to Net Control. Thanks, Chuck.
All right, very good there, Wade. Well, since we haven't spoken on the net since last week, I was going to ask you how conditions were for you on the weekend. I know you don't normally work weekends, and so there was some contesting, and of course there was POTA. So let us know if you what you did this weekend there, radio-wise.
Yeah, on the weekend, I did do a little bit of POTA on the weekend, not as much as I did the weekend before. my conditions here, I'm not sure if they were really all that great, although I wasn't on enough really to know, but I did get a few looking back over my log here. Any time on POTA is a good time on POTA though. Yeah, I think, let's see. I know I've said I would try spinning the dial around 10 meters a little more when we were chatting about that, and I have once or twice. That was fun. Oh, I do remember there is a net that was on after the D-Star net last night, and I found it spinning around on 40 meters, and they were really loud up here. It's a very interesting net or club name, and that now escapes me. I wrote it down, but I can't find it. Anyways, sounded like a nice bunch of folks. So I checked in, and they asked what was going on. So I gave them the information about our amateur radio satellite, our claim to fame, local claim to fame, and so they seemed very interested. Asked for the website. So who knows? Maybe they will try and tune in and pick up some contacts off of it once it's fully deployed and running. So let's see. Yeah, I didn't do much else with radio. I got to get back into it, find the time. But as I said earlier, anytime doing POTA is pretty fun. So take it when I can. Back to you. Thanks, Jack.
Okay, Wade, very good. I got one more question for you. Did you watch the SpaceX launch? Was it last night or the night before, where the McMaster Science Department students built and launched a satellite to measure radiation? I know I watched it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. I was watching that. We were it was live while we were on the D-Star net, so there was a little bit of live commentary as we did the D-Star net. So we definitely watched it get to orbit, and it's supposed to dock, if the schedule is right, it's supposed to dock with the International Space Station tomorrow morning, yeah, just before 7 apparently. I don't know if that'll be covered on NASA TV or not, but yeah, tomorrow morning they'll latch up to the ISS, and then they'll start transferring all the cargo that they brought up there, inclusive of the satellite. And then I guess they got a few things to do up there, but over the next few weeks, I guess when they get the chance, they'll slide the window open and toss it out the window, I suppose, and get it into orbit. And then maybe the next phase we could maybe pick it up. It is on amateur bands. It's transmitting downlink on 70 centimeters, so it's a possibility that if it makes a pass overhead, we might be able to pick up some of its downlink traffic. They are encouraging that information. There's more information about it on their website. So yeah, if you follow along, there might be some the amateurs might be able to work it a little bit.
All right. Very interesting information, Wade. Thank you very much. And so, yeah, it's, and I just found out that they are going to nudge the ISS into deorbiting in the year 2030. So I wonder what they're going to do with all that gold, because they do use a lot of gold to wrap the solar arrays and everything like that. That's a huge chunk of debris to come down. So I don't know exactly, but they're talking about using a tug to tug it back into deorbit, I guess you would say. All right, so we'll clear with Wade, VA3NCA, and let's go say hello to Tomasz, VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform. Good evening, Thomas.
Good evening, Chuck and everybody else on the net here. I'm using a different radio tonight, the ICOM 2GX8T. I'm just using 1 watt, and I got a really good antenna on this thing. How's it sound your way?
Well, first of all, it sounds great. I do have a slight bit of crackling in there, but you're full quieting. S8 over here at the Center Mall in East Hamilton there, Tom.
Yeah, I just put it on high power. Is there any difference there?
Yeah, 10 over S9 now, so it's a noticeable difference.
I haven't used this radio in a long time. I'm getting you and Matt full scale at this end, full scale. It's a pretty good antenna, actually. It's I think I paid like $30 for it.
$30. Oh my gosh, that's excellent. So I was just looking at antennas today there, Tomash, and I was looking at the SolarCon A99, which is basically the Antron 99, and they want a couple of $100 for that now. They want around just under 200 for that one. And then for the IMAX, I think they're discontinuing it because it's not available at Radio World. And I only found it on Amazon. They wanted close to 300, I think, for it. So yeah, I use the Antron. It's called the SolarCon A99, and I use that for 10 meters and 12 and 15 and 17. And so the vertical antenna is working great. We've got really good conditions. And so for the next couple of years, I think 10 meters is going to be my favorite band there, Tom. But yeah, no, good deal there. Is that a base antenna or is that for a handheld?
This antenna is just for handheld only. He's gone.
Okay, something happened there. You dropped and cut out. So maybe that was a slip of the thumb on the key up. But overall, really good job there, Tom.
Yeah, my battery's gone.
Yes. I just ordered some batteries today. They're coming tomorrow. So I'm going to have lots of juice in them. Okay, well, thanks, Tomash, for checking in. I'll let you go for now, and thanks for checking in with us.
Have a good night, Chuck.
Okay, you too. Yeah, S8 to 10 over S9. Good job. All right, now we got Al next up in line. Victor Alpha 3, November Fox Lima. Come on in, Al.
Thanks, Chuck. BA3FL. I was sitting back here thinking, I've been on this net before. It was way back in the day. I can't think of his name. He delivered papers at night or whatever
That's
it was.
Right.
Last I heard, he moved north. Am I on the right net? I can't think of his name.
That's right, Al. That's right. His name was John Sims, and his call was it still is VE3 Juliet Sierra Uniform, JSU. And he started the net out in Dundas originally back in '93 because we're coming up on the 30-year anniversary this year in September. So it's going to be 30 years, Al, since John first started the net there. So he moved up into northwestern Ontario in a place called Manitouwadge. And he's happy there. He says he's never coming back to Hamilton.
Yeah, it just took me back, AREG. I got started thinking, I couldn't come up with a name, but we used to trash talk Mayor Freddie all the time. Always had fun on this net, so yeah, I'll be a regular from here on.
Okay, Al, very good. Glad to hear that. Yeah, we got a great bunch of guys here. We always have a lot of fun, and we're never too serious. We talk about everything except politics and religion, and so that keeps it a really fun net there. Al, glad you're here.
All right, glad to be here. Oh, I didn't get your call sign. I got the name Chuck, but not the call sign.
Roger. The call sign is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, VA3 CJZ. And if you want to watch us on YouTube, just put in VA3 CJZ in the YouTube search, and you can watch and listen to us live there. Thanks, Al. We'll get back to you for another round and see what else we have to talk about. All right, so next we have Rick, finally at the bottom of the list, VE3 Bravo Kilowatt. Good evening, Rick.
Yeah, good evening, Chuck, and everybody on frequency. There's my dog in the background. He doesn't like when I talk. Joe,
Jealous.
he likes to have his say. Anyway, yeah, I tried to get Rich tonight, but I talked to Rich last night on Skype, and he's doing okay, but I guess he's not available tonight, his Thursday morning. So anyway, so I got nothing else really to say. Good to hear Art in there. I didn't really know what he did with his antenna. I think he was down maybe a little bit, but I was hearing him pretty good. I guess he couldn't hear you too well, but that's the way amateur radio works. Sometimes on 2 meter or 440, the band is really strange because it is direct line. And it should be direct line, and we're still bouncing all over the place and getting our signals anyway. But anyway, I'm listening here on the site, and I'm just trying to send an email to the VE3CWM. They are our counterpart in the Cold War Museum in Ottawa. VA3CWM is a warplane heritage, and with the Lancaster and Mount Hope Airport. But the other one, yeah, we're getting some contacts coming through, and I think I wonder if they're mixing up the VE3 with the VA3. Anyway, so that's about all I got there, Chuck. Back to the net, good net as usual, and we'll just be sitting here and listening in. VA3CJZ from V3BK.
Okay, Rick, I don't know what happened there, but you first had very loud audio, and now you've got maybe 10% of the audio that you had when you first started. So I don't know if you're talking into the wrong microphone or what have you there, but it dropped right off.
Okay, how's it right now?
Now it's back to blasting.
Okay, well, this is actually a desk mic. It actually takes the power from the radio, and I think that components, I think if I talk too long, it maybe goes down, or maybe I turn my head. Anyway, thanks for letting me know. And we'll be on the side here, V3BK.
Rick's timer?
Yeah, Rick's own personal timeout timer. We'll just cut his audio off, but we'll let him transmit. Okay, very good, Rick. Thanks a bunch for all that, and hope to catch you in a little bit there when we make another round. So for now, we're at 9 check-ins, and let's see who else is out there would like to join us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group, AREG. This is VA3CJZ. My name is Chuck, and I'm here in East Hamilton. Any new check-ins, please come now. Okay, nothing heard. So let's go to some announcements. We do have a bunch of contests coming up this weekend again, and I forgot to say hello to Michael KI5SPA. He's on the YouTube stream, and we got Larry VE3 Lima Delta Zulu. Good evening, fellas. And we also have Mike Can Do. No call sign there, but good evening and welcome. And so lovely to have you aboard. Larry says he had a nice trip from Selkirk to Simcoe with a stop in at Port Dover. Lucky you. Yeah, we're going to wait till the weather gets nicer. But absolutely there, Mike, that doesn't have a license. That's no problem. YouTube, you don't need a license to listen. Very good then. Okay. So now let's go to the contests that are coming up this weekend. We have something I've never heard of before called the Maidenhead Mayhem Sprint. And that's from 0 Zulu time on March 18th to 23:59 Zulu, March 19th. And that's for CW, single sideband, and digital for the bands 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. Again, the Maidenhead Mayhem Sprint. Say that 3 times fast. All right, and then we have an RTTY contest, the BRTG, BARTG, HFRTTY, and that's for 10 through 80 meters. And next we have South Africa, the South Africa Radio League VHF UHF analog contest. Now there are uh, uh, times of operations are staggered. You might get an hour here or 2 hours there, and then a break, and then uh, you'll have to go to contest calendar to see all that. And that's for sideband, by the way, and that's for 50 megahertz, 70 megahertz, 144 megahertz. I think they meant 70 centimeters here. I don't know about 70 megahertz, but 144 megs, 432 megahertz, and 1296 megahertz. Okay, so there must be a 70 megahertz for that part of the world. So if you want to see if you can get South Africa on sideband on VHF, UHF there, this weekend is a good time to do that. Don't want to time it out like some people do, eh? Next, we've got the Russian DX contest, and that's at 1200 Zulu time, March 18th to 12 Zulu time, March 19th, and that is for CW and sideband for the bands 10 meter, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. So if you don't have Russia, this is your weekend to get some Russian contacts. Another contest called the F9AA Cup for sideband, and that's for 2 meters, 10, 15, 20, 40, and 80, and that's for sideband. Next, we have the All Africa International DX contest. This is going to be a good weekend. So this is for CW, sideband, and RTTY, and the bands are 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. And so after that, we've got the Virginia QSO party. 80 meter only, single sideband. That's for the UBA Spring contest for sideband. 80 meters only. And then we have the Classic Exchange for phone, and that's for AM, sideband, and FM. And that'll be 2 meters, 6, 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. And Debbie's favorite, Run for the Bacon QRP contest. Hopefully we'll have Debbie check in with us later. Well, that's it for the contests announcements this upcoming weekend. And so just go to contestcalendar.com if you want any more information on that. So again, thank you very much. Let's see if anyone else is out there would like to check in with us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. Anyone, anywhere, please come now.
Alpha 3, Alpha X-ray Juliet. Portable.
Okay. VA3AXJ. Portable. Come on in, Rick.
A little late tonight. Damn, I looked at my calendar. It's Wednesday. I better get on the radio here. Quarter to 9. Ooh. Where's the quarter to 8? I don't know. I'm still fighting this time change. Every time it changes, it kills me. It takes me about 3-4 days to get back in the schedule.
Yeah, Rick. Normally, I don't have an issue with time change, but this time around, my sleep has been affected a little bit. So, but no big deal. Just waking up an hour earlier than I usually do. So yeah, Rick, you're late. The net starts at 8. And do you have Facebook? And did you know we have a Facebook AREG page? And that's where I usually post every Wednesday that the net is on at 8 o'clock.
No, I don't, Chuck. I don't have a computer. Probably have it on my phone, but I don't know how to use it. I don't care to use it. It's more I got to worry about. more frustration, I guess you'd call it. Had enough frustration all day today. What a day I had. Oh, it was fun.
Rick, talk into the microphone.
I am, George. Where are you?
I can hardly hear you.
I'm on the portable, George.
Oh, that explains it. Okay, yeah, I can hardly hear you. But, okay, continue on. Sorry for the interruption.
No problem there. Go ahead, Chuck.
Yeah, I'm wearing headphones there, gentlemen. Don't scream into the microphone. You're plenty loud. But Rick is on a portable there, George. That's probably why you're having maybe a tad bit of trouble picking him up. But yeah, Rick is on the portable. Downtown Rick. All we need now is Downtown Richard. I haven't heard him in a while. Maybe he'll make an appearance one day. Okay, Rick. Well, thanks for checking in, my friend. Do appreciate it. You going to stick around for a bit?
Probably till about maybe 9:30. I got a kind of a busy day today. I got lost today. Went to get up to the Brez. There's a slight accident on number 6, so I had to detour. And I went into places that I didn't know exist, and I got lost. A 2-hour trip, and it took me 3.5 hours to get back home. Wasn't too happy about it, but it is what it is.
A 2 hour. Doesn't that sound like Gilligan's Island? Oh, yeah, it got lost at sea on a 3-hour tour. Yeah. It happens. Just don't listen to your GPS there if it tells you to drive off a cliff.
GPS, I don't believe in those things. Yeah, and I finally found my mock chicken loaf, and I bought a big chunk of it. I'm telling you, that stuff's expensive now. I used to buy it at the wholesale club on Barton and Nash Road, and I paid like $38. And I bought one yesterday, actually, it was, because I got my corned beef and all that for Friday. And it was $52 for that big chunk.
Wow. Holy spokes. I know I was walking by the deli at Metro the other day there, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is insane. Like for 100 grams, they wanted like $4 or $5. Are you kidding me? So you're going to pay $20 a pound for roast beef or whatever? Yeah. And by the way, mock chicken was usually the next level up after bologna that my mother used to give me in my sandwiches after I got tired of bologna, because we wouldn't buy the expensive stuff like I said, their roast beef. But it's crazy.
Yeah, I know it is, and I love that meat, eh? It's great for sandwiches. But that was up at Highland Packers when I bought my, I got the corned beef and the cabbage and all the other stuff that goes with it. We're going to have our Paddy's Day on Sunday, because we got friends of mine. They had one of their family pass away, so we're going to hold it off until Sunday. Let them do what they have to do, and then we'll do it then. There you go. Enough of that, and doing a good job there, Chuck. I'll be on for a little bit, and thanks for doing the net. And if I get you on the second round, then I'll certainly key up. Back to you.
Okay, Rick. And by the way, my condolences. And going back to Highland Packers there, that's why you paid so much. I remember I wanted to buy a split chicken breast, $21. That was a couple of years ago too, back when I used to do my own beef jerky. I'm gonna have to get myself a smoker and start doing my now that I have teeth. Thank you very much for checking in, sir, and remembering. And we'll talk to you a little bit later on. So let's see who else out there would like to join us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. Anyone, anywhere.
VE3TGL.
VE3TGL. Wow, Uwe, great sound and great signal coming in tonight. Come on in. Victor Echo 3, Tango Golf Lima. You there?
There we are. Thanks, Chuck, taking me in there. I just decided to check in there. Matt told me if I didn't check in down here, he'd come cut my coax off. So then I'd have to go out there and refix everything. So I didn't want to do that. So anyways, your signal's coming in good. A little bit noisy, but we can still pass traffic, I think, so far. So far, so good. VE3TGL.
Okay, Uwe. Well, you're holding at S8, peaking at S9, and great sound, great full quieting. Like you said, just a slight bit of noise, but otherwise, a great signal. Tonight, people are coming in really good. So great job. Did you happen to see the SpaceX launch with the McMaster built CubeSat there the last night?
Yeah, no, I didn't catch any of that. I didn't even know it was happening until some guys on the radio mentioned it, and by that time it was already up in the air for 20 minutes or so. So I guess I missed out on that one. But yeah, it's all good and exciting stuff, and hopefully they'll figure out something and their experiments come out positive, and maybe we'll all benefit from that one day in the future. V3TGL.
All right then, Uwe. Yeah. Like Mac said earlier, maybe they'll. Or no, it wasn't Mac. It was Wade, NCA. There said earlier that I guess when they're ready to launch it, somebody will have to slide the side windshield open and and toss it out. So yeah, very cool stuff. Puts Hamilton on the map globally. Scientifically, well, we've always been, McMaster University has always been at the forefront of research and science. We're known worldwide for that at McMaster, so good for them, and good keeping RPAD busy, licensing all these students that have to get their license to communicate with these satellites. So very interesting stuff. All right, Uwe, like I said, very good job coming in tonight. Do you have anything else for us?
No, that's about it. I just thought I'd check in and actually just tune the dial down to see if I could even hear you guys. And hey, coming in good enough for me. And yeah, it's good to see RPAD keep them busy over there, give them something to do besides yapping on the radio. And yeah. So thanks for the check-in, and keep up the good work. The E3TGL, and everybody have a great night out there, and don't party too hard. The E3TGL.
Okay, well, Uwe, you can keep your coax where it is. No worries, you made it. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule to check in with us, Uwe. Always a pleasure, my friend, chatting with you. You take care. Have a great rest of the evening. Okay. Anyone else out there wishing to check in to the Amateur Radio Exchange Group? Please come now. Oh. You know what that means? That means we're going to have to do a little bit of on this day to get things kicked off here. And it's a pretty good one, I must say. Now, I've been doing these informational on this day segments for 107 weeks now. So tonight is on this day 107. And we'll start off with birthdays, going far back in history as I deem it interesting enough. So first off, we've got the birthday of a gentleman who was a Greek bishop who became the model for Santa Claus. Born in Patara, Asia. Saint Nicholas, also known as, and he lived from the year 270 to the year 343 AD. So Saint Nick, and by the way, Saint Nick made the news last fall. They actually found his tomb in Greece somewhere. So Saint Nick does exist. Next, we have Andrew Jackson. He's also on the U.S. $20 bill, and he was the American general. He was an American general in the Army, and was the 7th U.S. president. Born on the border between North and South Carolina. All right, next we've got a gentleman born on this day in 1813, and John Snow is his name. And he's an English epidemiologist who studied cholera and is considered the father of modern epidemiology, born in York, England. So speaking with bacterias and diseases, we have Waldemar Hafkin, born on this day in 1860. He's a Ukrainian bacteriologist. I didn't say that right, I know. He's the first to develop and use vaccines against cholera and bubonic plague. So I guess the other gentleman that I just mentioned, this guy here worked off of his discoveries, and there you go. He was a Russian, born in Odessa, in the Russian Empire, born in 1860 and died in 1930. All right, let's go to Canada now. And born on this day in 1918, Punch Imlach. I don't know if anybody has ever heard of Punch Imlach, but I certainly remember him. Canadian Hockey Hall of Fame coach and general manager to the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Buffalo Sabres. He was born in Toronto, and he passed away in 1987. Born in 1918 on this day. Okay, on this day in 1921, Stafford Smythe was born, and Conn Stafford Smythe was the son of Conn Smythe and president of Maple Leaf Gardens Limited and the Toronto Maple Leafs hockey team from 61 to 69 and from 1970 until his death. And that was in 1971. He was born in Toronto. So good for him. Next, we have the drummer for Elvis Presley, Dominic Joseph, also known as DJ Fontana, born on this day in 1931. Like I said, he's an American drummer for Elvis, born in Shreveport, Louisiana, passed away 5 years ago in 2018. Okay, we'll do one more. Judd Hirsch celebrates his 88th birthday today. He was born in 1935, and he's an American Emmy and Tony Award-winning stage and screen actor. You'll also remember him on Taxi as Alex and Dear John. He did those series there. Okay, so we'll take a break from that, and we'll come back to it again. So let's go to the top of the list. Well, first, let's see if anyone else is out there listening would like to check in with us here on the AREG, the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. My name is Chuck. Any new check-ins, please come now. All right, nothing heard. Well, let's see if Mike stuck around. Usually he doesn't, but number one, VE3KMQ. You there, Mike? Okay, well, let's see if George is paying attention. VE3GBD.
Be very quiet.
Okay. All right then. So let's go to VA3IMW.
Well, I am here, and I am back again. Yeah, I guess you heard a little bit about the D-Star Net last night. It was a little bit distracted because the D-Star Net starts at 8:30, and that was the same time that the SpaceX craft was supposed to do its countdown and liftoff. So it kind of became the topic of the net. So while I had, I don't know, a dozen, I think it was 11 check-ins on the D-Star Net last night, the main topic was, standby. I'm watching the final countdown. So, yeah, and then once it got up in the air, we found out that RPAD's streaming service was 28 seconds behind everybody else, and there's no account for that. But yeah, I was watching the YouTube live stream from the SpaceX, and that was quite amazing. Before the actual countdown and liftoff, they were interviewing some of the Mohawk students, and you know, our hearts are pounding proud for the students that are involved in the things that are shaping the future. So yes, this miniature satellite system is going to be deployed by a spring-loaded device from the side of the space station, and they'll send it into low Earth orbit in the areas where it has a minimal potential for colliding with other stuff. And it's going to be collecting data on radiation. That they have sensors that are built into this thing that will mimic the effect of radiation on human tissue, human fat tissue. And they'll be doing uplink and downlink on the same kind of system, I guess, that they have on the ISS. So they uplink on 2 meters and downlink on 70 centimeters. So as Wade said, there's lots of information available on various websites, and they're also looking forward to people playing with that and receiving and decoding that downlink data. So it looks like open source, and everybody's welcome to play with at the party. Anyways, my radio's beeping, and that means that's 2 minutes.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, sorry about that. I had the sound off. Well, we're not going to repeat it. Thanks for letting me know there, Steel City Coach. I would have gone on longer without noticing. Much appreciated, sir. Okay, well, Mac, do you have anything else for us?
Well, there's always something in the back pocket, but I think that's enough for now. Just like I said, hearts are pounding proud, and we'll be looking forward to perhaps a little video coverage of the supply mission making its docking with the space station tomorrow morning. So I did recall that it may be 3 to 4 weeks out before this miniature satellite is deployed. So we will be listening along and following the progress of this as we go. Anyways, keep up the good work there, Chuck, and let's fill up the log. Go ahead.
All right, then. Sounds good, Mac. So we'll do another call out before we go down the list. So anyone else out there listening would like to join us here on the AREG net, please come now. This is VA3 CJZ. All right. Well, we're stuck at 11 check-ins so far. I did listen to, I had the Burlington Amateur Radio Club net streaming on the YouTube stream here just before I started the net, and seemed to be pretty quiet on the Burlington Amateur Radio Club net tonight. Not too many check-ins. So, but that's okay. We're going to continue on regardless. And so with that, let's go and say hello to Wade. Hopefully he doesn't have a high noise level anymore. VA3 November Charlie Alpha.
No, Chuck, it hasn't returned. Touch wood. Still a good signal from you out here in Dundas. Yeah, you're over S9 to me out here and coming in really clearly. I guess that was some passing interference. I don't know. I'm going to have to maybe do some RF sleuthing and try and track it down, but it's gone and it hasn't come back. So I'm not going to. I'm gonna take it as a good sign. Yeah, Kevin, I did see Kevin was in the KKP was in the chat a little further up, but he just said hi basically. So hello, Kevin. Good to hear you're on the mend, and good to hear you've got a radio. Well, as soon as the batteries are recharged, you've got a radio with you, so you can stay in touch. So welcome. Hopefully you're still listening along. Also, I think I saw, but now my YouTube crashed, and I can't seem to see all the comments. But I think somebody in the comment asked for repeaters near them, and so I tried to comment to Google for repeater book, because repeater book will take your location and it will. This is for the person in the comment. I know everybody else knows what repeater book is, but for the person with the comment, go to repeater book and put in your location, and it'll tell you all of the repeaters in your area. Anyways, that's all I have for this round, and so I'll pass it back to you, Chuck, VA3NCA.
Okay, very good. Then, Wade, I did go back there while you were talking and noticed Kevin, VE3KKP, checked in. Hello, Kevin. Hope things are going well with you, and we can't wait to have you come home. And so we'll have to add you to our check-in list, as all the others that we've got in here. We've got Larry, we've got Mike, KI5SPA, we've got Mike Can Do, Steel City Coach, Wade, I think, was in there. And so, yeah, welcome everyone. Okay, well, thank you, Wade. Appreciate all that. And yeah, if it wasn't for the YouTube stream, I wouldn't have known that my audio was off. Not on the radio microphone, but on the external mic that I have for the YouTube stream. So thank you again. Okay, thanks, Wade. We'll get back to you around again next time around. Anyone else out there listening would like to check in with us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu. My name is Chuck, and I'm here in East Hamilton. Anyone, anywhere, please come now.
Victor Echo 3, Lima Bravo India.
Okay, I've got VE3 Lima Bravo India. Larry, come on in. And I think I have to say congratulations again, no?
Okay, I'm not sure why. Go ahead. VE3LBI.
Well, if I remember correctly, the last award I saw you get was the 3,500. That was last week, wasn't it?
Yep, no, picked up the 3,500. There's two Canadians right now in the top 50 for the most parks, new parks for this year. So one of the guys in Barrie and myself. So we're trying to hold it up there. Everybody else seems to be the Americans.
That's right. That's right. We got to let them know that the Canadians are standing tall and proud. So good job, Larry. I think you're the number one guy in Canada, so you're our POTA king.
I don't know about that, but I think there's a few more ahead of me too, Chuck. But still fun. Actually, what I'm doing is I'm filling out some QSL cards. Kind of fell behind, so I decided to put the radio back on for a bit and listen along, and I'm filling them out and getting ready to go back in the mail.
Oh, very good, very good. Also, you've got hard copy QSL cards instead of digital ones.
Yep, I get them mailed to me all the time, so it costs me more in
stamps. Well, you know, when you got 3,500 POTAs and you're sending everyone a card there, it's a little burp in the wallet for sure. Okay, Larry. Well, thanks for joining us. I don't know how long you've been listening, but we're having a pretty good time here. We got a few people listening on the YouTube stream. Kevin KKP said hello there a little while back, and several others are on there. And so, yeah, having a good time there. Okay, my friend. Well, you're along with 3 YouTube check-ins. You're check-in number 15 tonight, Larry.
No, I've been listening for a bit. I listened to Max Radio tell him it was time to get off, so I figured it was a good chance to get
done after that. Yeah, I'm always listening for that beep. So okay, well then, very good, Larry. We'll get back to you again next round.
Yep. Okay, sounds good, Chuck. VE3LBI.
All right, Larry. Thanks for checking in. So let's see if Tomash is still there. VE3 Charlie Echo uniform. Okay, let's kick it back up to Al. VA3 November Fox Lima.
Yeah, I'm still here. So getting ready to go in and have something to eat.
Oh, I'm sorry, Al. All I heard was you're going to go inside and get something to eat. Was that it?
He wanted to know if Kevin was in there, but there's something else keying up. Anyways, Al, it's Kevin's on the YouTube stream, and he's been monitoring via the interwebs. And I'll turn it back to Chuck. Go ahead.
Yes, that's right, Al. KKP Kevin is, well, he did say hello on the YouTube stream, along with several other people there. So again, just put in my call sign, VA3CJZ, in the YouTube search box, and you can see us live there. And you can move the slider back and forth wherever you like, or just listen along live where it is. Anything else there, Al?
No, I've had a good evening. Enjoyed listening along. I'm going to say 7 threes to everybody on that. VA3 NFL. I'm going to go in and have some dinner.
All right. Yep, we're going to have a late dinner ourselves tonight. Wait for the wife to come home, and we'll eat dinner together. Okay, very good then, Al. I do appreciate you checking in, sir. Have a great rest of the evening. So we'll clear with VA3 NFL. Next will be Rick, VE3 Bravo Kilowatt. You still there, Rick?
Yeah, Roger on that, Chuck. We're still here. Anyway, first off, I'd like to say hello to Kevin, VE3KKP. If you can hear us there, Kevin, probably on YouTube. Anyway, hello, and I hope you get well soon and you get home. Anyway, and the other thing I've got is we sent out a soldering thing on YouTube. It's actually put up by the U.S. government way back when, and it's kind of geared towards ham radio. So if you go on YouTube and do a search for soldering, you should be able to find that. If not, email me at v3bk@hamiltonarc.com, and I will send you the link. Anyway, that's all I got there, Chuck. And very interesting. Mac brought up that satellite, and I'm getting to know more and more about that. Somebody gave us the uplink and downlink frequencies. I didn't write them down, so I don't know what they are, but that'll be interesting once I get that satellite in the air. Anyway, carry on with the net there. Oh, one other thing. My net on Monday night on 3.693. We had 20 check-ins on Monday. So a lot of the guys that are checking in here also check in there on HF there, Chuck on 80 meters or 75 home. Anyway, so carry on. VA3CJZ from V3BK.
Absolutely there, Rick. And I forgot on Tuesday to check in with you there on TARS, I think it was. I usually forget. I forget the next day, so sorry about that. Otherwise, I think I was doing something else. Otherwise, I would have checked in. So, like Rick mentioned, every Monday night at 8 p.m., we have the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club net on 3.693 megahertz. And so anyone, anywhere is welcome, and stop in and say hi. Last Monday, Rick, the conditions were actually pretty good for me. The noise wasn't so bad. So you can usually hear 90% of the people that check in. Marty's a tough cookie. He comes in very, very weakly, usually with my noise level. So that's unfortunate, but there are stations you hear loud locally, and there's some stations you hear fairly weak in the city here. So conditions for them are better further away than close by there. Roger?
Yeah, Roger on that, Chuck. And you brought up OnTARS. They've moved. We're now on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Thursdays for VA3CWM on OnTARS 3.755, and they just had to fix the long wire again. The long wire antenna, we had it down for quite a few years when we were using the remote, courtesy of Barry V3ISX, and we went through the internet to get on his remote. But now we're actually using a long wire, only with 100 watts, and doing pretty good. I mean, at the airport, we're wide open. So get some good DX there, and good contacts too as well on OnTARS. But, being on 80 meters in the middle of the day, sometimes it's not that great. But Monday night was excellent, and Marty, I hear him on the SDR. Sometimes I hear him on my own radio, but not always. And for some reason, I had a high noise level on Monday, so yeah, you take the good with the bad there, and it's just like DX is there sometimes, other times it's not. So anyway, so back to net, and thanks for letting me in there, Chuck. VE3BK.
Okay, very good then, Rick. Yeah, not a problem. So the Canadian Warplane Museum net is on Thursdays at 2 p.m. on 3.755. Thanks for all that info, Rick. Much appreciated. So let's clear with VE3 Bravo Kilowatt. And let's go and see if Rick is there so we can tuck him in. VA3 AXJ. Rick, you there?
Yeah, this is my 7-3 round though, because I'm sleepy here. So, yeah, not much more to say. I think I said it all. Anyhow, yeah, thanks for doing the net there, Chuck, and have a good night and a better day tomorrow. It's supposed to be real nice, so gonna try and get some stuff done around here outside instead of procrastinating all the time, eh? I'll get around to it. You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely. Okay, Rick. Well, that's why I figured I'd better call on you. There, it's getting to be closer to 9:30. It's 9:19 p.m. Over here, and we currently have 3.1 degrees Celsius outside the CJZ studio. So today I didn't take advantage of the beautiful sunshine, but I'm waiting for it to go a tad more. Well, I'm kind of waiting for that snow to leave, really. Anyways, Rick, thanks again, my friend, for sticking around as long as you did. And you take care of yourself. And we'll talk to you soon, I'm sure. As you know, I do monitor this frequency during the day. And so 146430 is on one of my radios all the time. So anytime anyone wants to give a call out, please do. Thanks again, Rick. We'll say goodnight. VA3AXJ. All right. Next, we have Uwe. Let's see if Uwe stuck around. VE3TGL. Okay, nothing heard. So that's it then. Let's see if anyone else is out there listening, would like to check in with us. Anyone, anywhere for the Amateur Radio Exchange Group, AREG. This is VA3CJZ. Anyone, anywhere, please come now. Okay, well, we can't have dead air. So we're just going to go to on this day and go back to the birthdays. Who do we have next? Okay, so we last left off with Judd Hirsch from Taxi. Next, we've got Sly Stone. And that's not Sylvester Stallone. It's Sly Stone from the American funk band Sly and the Family Stone. His real name is Sylvester Stewart. And his birthday is today in 1943. So he should be, 80 years old. Wow. Man, I feel old. I remember listening to Sly and the Family Stone. Two famous songs here, Everyday People and Dance to the Music is another one. All right, let's stick with music and go to Ry Cooder. Born on this day in 1947. His real name is Ryland. Ryland. Ry Cooder. American blues guitarist and producer. Born in Los Angeles, California. Happy birthday, Ry Cooder. Next, we've got the animator for The Simpsons. David Silverman. Born on this day, 1957. He was born in Long Island, New York. And if you ever want to find out what the future holds for humanity, watch The Simpsons. They have several episodes where they mention things that have not yet happened, and yet they do happen down the road. It's uncanny. If you want, you should Google that. The Simpsons have predicted the future. Trust me. I'm telling you the truth here. All right, David Silverman. Next, we've got Eva Longoria celebrate 48th birthday. She was born in 1975, and she's one of those American housewives or something like that. Anyways, also celebrating a 48th birthday today is Will.i.am, one of the singers on the Black Eyed Peas band with what's her name there. So born in 1975, Will I Am. And that's it for birthdays of celebrities and famous people in history. All right, let's go back in time and see who passed away. Famous people that passed away. We go as far back as Julius Caesar was murdered on this day in the year 100. No, sorry. He was born in the year 100 and he was murdered or stabbed in the back in the year 44 BC. Julius Caesar. Okay. Next, we have the founder of the Harlem Globetrotters, passed away today in 1966. His name is Abe Saperstein. He died of a heart attack at the age of 63, and he founded the Harlem Globetrotters. Next, we've got Florence Chadwick, born on this day in 1918. No, sorry. She was born in 1918, but passed away on this day in 1995. If you don't know who she is, she's the She's an American swimmer who was the first woman to swim the English Channel in both directions. She died of leukemia in 1995 at the age of 76. Never mind going one way, she did it both. Woohoo! Okay. Next, in 1998 on this day, Robert, also known as Jerry Redding. He's an American hairdresser and businessman, and he created the Jerry Curl. Remember the Jerry Curl and hair conditioner in the 90s, 80s, and 90s? Well, he passed away in 1998 at the age of 91. Long live the Jerry Curl. And here's one PDL would be sad to hear of. In 2003, Joseph Coors, American CEO of Coors Brewing Company, dies at the age of 83. And to finish things off, people who passed away were Charles Harrelson, passed away in 2007, and he is an American hitman and father of Woody Harrelson. If you don't, you know who Woody Harrelson is, quite famous actor. Well, his father was a hitman, so passed away in 2007. That's it for birthdays and deaths on this day. Any comments or questions?
Wasn't Julius Caesar murdered on the Ides of March, which is tomorrow?
I don't know. I just have the info that I have. Julius Caesar stabbed to death at the age of 55. And so, yeah. Hey, that's going far back. I wouldn't blame them if they were off by one day.
Unless I'm completely befuddled, is today the 15th?
Today is indeed the 15th.
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
You're spot on, Chuck. Keep up the good work.
No, it's okay. I don't mind being questioned. And so, very good then. Okay. How about some events of note in history? Would you look at that? The very first thing I have here. Assassination of Julius Caesar. Let me read the whole thing. In 44 BC, Julius Caesar is stabbed to death by Brutus, Cassius, and several other Roman senators on the Ides of March in Rome. Good segue there, Mac.
I try. It's almost like we planned it like this.
That's my very first item on the events in history of importance, to me anyways. So, yeah, very good. I mean, they have a ton of other stuff there, but I don't name everything. We'd be here forever. Let's go to Christopher Columbus now. On this day in 1493, Christopher Columbus returns to Spain after his first voyage to the New World. The New World meaning Canada or North America. But in fact, people don't know this, but Christopher Columbus managed to fund or get funding for 3 trips to try and find India. And he failed every single time. And so he figured, well, let's tell them that we found this place called the New World instead of finding India. People didn't know that. 3 times he got money to go on a trip and failed to find India. A lot of people don't know that. Here's a Canadian connection for discoveries. The discovery of Nootka Sound in 1778. Nootka, Nootka, Nootka Sound is a Vancouver Island, and it was discovered by none other than Captain James Cook, very famous pirate or privateer, whatever you want to call him. Another little bit of information a lot of people don't know about is that Russia started settlements in Alaska and then all the way down into California. They had settlements, and Russia was pretty much doing what the Americans did with the state of Texas, which is they just basically claimed it as their own, started settling Americans there, and said to the Mexicans, go back to Mexico, even though Texas was originally part of Mexico. Well, the Russians did the same thing here. 1812 is the first Russian settlement in California at a place called Russian River. See, you get to learn something too while you're here. All right, so let's jump all the way to 1820 now. The state of Maine is admitted as the 23rd state of the Union. 1867, Michigan becomes the first state to tax property to support a university. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but taxes in the U.S. and Canada were income tax was originally, or was it property tax here? This one here is for property tax. But income tax was introduced to support the war. I believe it was the First World War. And it stayed ever since. The government figured, well, we got a cash cow, let's keep her going. Here's some more sporting news. In 1869, on this day, with 10 salaried players, the Cincinnati Red Stockings become baseball's first professional team, later to become the Cincinnati Reds. So interesting. Okay. 1887, we have the first salaried fish and game warden. His name is William Alden Smith, and he was in Michigan. Let's talk about the Rolls-Royce Company. In 1906, Britain's Henry Rolls, Charles Royce, and Claude Johnson formalized their existing partnership as Rolls-Royce Limited in 1906. Nice cars, nice cars. 1907, on this day, Finland is the first European country to give women the right to vote.
And where are we now?
Not in Finland. Although I do hear that Finland is one of the best places to work. I think they only have 4-day work weeks there, Mac. Or is that Sweden? One of those countries has a 4-day work week and all kinds of good things for those Europeans there. All right. Well, in 1912, on this day, legendary pitcher Cy Young retires from baseball with a 511 to 315 win-loss record. The Cy Young Award, named after Cy Young. Okay, the very, very first American press conference was held on this day in 1913, with the first U.S. presidential press conference held by Woodrow Wilson. Remember earlier when I talked about Texas, or the Americans taking Texas as their own? Well, this next story is about that. In 1916, General Pershing and 15,000 troops chase Pancho Villa back into Mexico. So there you go. Hey, Americans just take. Okay. And on this day in 1917, we have Nicholas II, the last Russian Tsar, abdicates the throne and nominates his brother, Grand Duke Michael, to succeed him. I do believe, he and his whole family were murdered, if I'm not mistaken. That's one way to abdicate the throne, get murdered. All right, so here's some radio news. In 1922, on this day, the first Southern radio station begins, and it is call sign WSB in Atlanta, Georgia. 1941, on this day, a blizzard in North Dakota kills 151 people. Wow, that's a lot of snow. Oh, speaking of snow, here we have rain. 1952, the greatest 24-hour rainfall begins, ending with 187 centimeters of rain, recorded at La Reunion, Indian Ocean, some spot in the Indian Ocean where it rained. I don't know how they measured that, but there you have it. Okay, on this day in 1954, the CBS morning show premieres with Walter Cronkite and Jack Paar. Now, if you don't know who Jack Paar is, he is the second person to host The Tonight Show. The first person was Steve Allen. The third person to host The Tonight Show was Johnny Carson. So he was not the first. So Walter Cronkite and Jack Paar have a morning show on this day, 1954. 1955, on this day, the U.S. Air Force unveils the first self-guided missile. And if you've ever held your breath underwater and thought that you were cool by doing a couple of minutes, well, this guy here in 1959 held it for 13 minutes and 42 and a half seconds. Robert Foster is his name, and he sets a record for staying underwater. 13 minutes, almost 14. Woo-wee. All right. And then in 1960, on this day, we have the Key Largo Coral Reef Preserve, also known as the John D. Pennekamp Coral Reef State Park, established as the first underwater park off the coast of Florida. Very first underwater park. And then we go to Los Angeles for the race riots. In 1966, on this day, the race riots erupt in Watts section of Los Angeles. A little later I have a story about the Rodney King riots. So that was in 1966, the Watts riots on this day. And then on this day in 1968, Life magazine calls Jimi Hendrix the most spectacular guitarist in the world. Good call, Life magazine. All right. Well, I usually don't do Best Picture movies, but 1972, The Godfather is released. And of course, in March of 1973, Academy Awards gives it the Best Picture statue. Speaking with TV, let's go to 1977. TV comedy Three's Company, starring John Ritter, Suzanne Summers, and Joyce DeWitt, premieres on ABC. So if you feel old, 1977, first episode of Three's Company. The very first internet domain name was on this day in 1985. And the domain name, the website, was symbolics.com. So in 1985, the first internet domain name, symbolics.com, is registered. So there you go. Very first web page. And here we are with more race riots. 1991, 4 officers of the Los Angeles Police Department are charged with excessive force over the beating of Rodney King. So I'm not sure exactly when the riots started. They obviously started before these police were charged. I'm pretty sure that had an impact on having these police officers charged, was the riots, just to appease some of the people there. So there you go. Beating of Rodney King. 3 more to go and we're done. 2001, on this day, the world's largest oil rig, located off Brazil and operated by Petrobras, suffers 3 explosions. Now, I don't know if it sank or anything, but I remember that movie with Marky Mark there, Mark Wahlberg, where he's on an oil rig and it blows up. Well, it actually sank. It's a true story about an oil rig, and that oil rig it went under. Okay. 2018, on this day, a pedestrian bridge in Miami, Florida, collapses onto an 8-lane highway 5 days after it was built, killing 6 people. My goodness. And our final story tonight is, again in 2018, toy chain Toys R Us announces it will close all its stores after filing for bankruptcy. So Toys R Us called it quits in 2018, shortly after. So that's it for on this day. Any questions or comments, please come now.
Where's the bacon?
Hey, Debbie, we've got Run for the Bacon QRP this weekend. So we're recognizing VA3OYL. Come on in, Deb.
Good evening, everyone. Not much going on here. I just got back from a walk with the pup. Everything's going well. He's a good boy. Couple issues to work on, but nothing major. So I'm a happy camper.
Oh, that's fantastic, Deb. Glad to hear that. I'm just looking at the picture. I've got an 8 by 11 picture here of my dog, and always reminds me of the good time, but it does bring me sadness, of course. So I'm really glad for you, and maybe we'll have some luck this spring or summer.
Yeah, it really is nice having another heartbeat in the house. It fills the house up, makes it feel more complete. So it's nice. I have to work on the cats, getting used to them, but that'll come with time.
Yeah, you usually find that dogs are more willing to be friends with the cats, and the cats are like, yeah, buddy, what are you doing here? This is my place.
Yep. He's pretty good with cats, which is good. But he gets all excited and jumps around, and he'll let out a bark because he wants to play. And I got one cat to go close to the gate with treats. I fed the dog on one side and fed the cat on the other, and that went well. The other cat, I don't know how we're going to get her used to it because she just stays in the basement.
Yeah, I remember when I brought Buddy home and we already had an established cat, and he did not like Buddy. No matter how much Buddy tried to befriend him, no way. But that's the way it goes. What was I going to say now? Um, I forget now. But anyways, yeah, I'm glad to hear things are going well. Oh yeah. What I was going to say is that's another thing you got to look for when you're getting a dog. Some of them are very talkative, and they make noise, they howl. Huskies, for example, they talk back, and they 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 talk a lot. And so, depending on if you don't mind, like German Shepherds, they bark a lot. So yeah, something to consider.
Yeah, schnauzers are known to bark a lot, but this one doesn't bark a lot, and I knew that. That was one of the reasons why I chose this dog. Um, he's I don't know if he gets overwhelmed or just wants to go see other people and other dogs, but he doesn't like larger dogs. So he barks and whatnot at them. But just we'll have to work on it. Get him, bring him around different people. Maybe go somewhere where we can be around a lot of people, but not really close to them, just to get him used to the activity.
Yeah, well, you just need to socialize, and repetitiveness will probably help clear that up. I'm sure. He may have an aversion to larger dogs his whole life. You never, it's when you're small like that, and you get somebody, another dog that's 10 times bigger than you. I can see it. But anyways, Deb, other than that, have you been playing on the radio at all?
No, actually, I haven't been doing anything. I'm bored of reading. Sort of got bored of the radio. I just been watching TV and having dog time and cat time. So I haven't been doing much else. I'm starting to think about radio stuff again, but we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when you get a chance, go to contestcalendar.com and check out all the contests we have coming up on the weekend. We've got several big countries with, or actually or Africa is not a country; it's a continent, but they're in on it, and a few other things going on. So Russia, I do believe, is having one. Um, so yeah, check it out. Last weekend was the South American uh, contest, and got a bunch of countries added to the list there, and it was a lot of fun. Again, all on 10 meters, 10 and 15. Oh man, it's great when they open up. I just switch over to my vertical antenna, and bang, bing, bang, boom, like shooting ducks in a barrel.
Yeah, I took my IMAX 2000 down and thinking I'm going to put it back up and take my 6 meter antenna down for now and have some fun on 10.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you don't have to go high. I mean, you can mount it to your fence as long as it's secure and you don't knock your fence down. Um, because when the wind catches it, right, it does sway quite a bit. It's a very long antenna. But yeah, like I have an Antron 99, which is now called SolarCon A99, and it's only 20 feet off the ground. It does great.
Yeah, I have a tripod set up on the ground with I can put a couple different poles
There
in
you
it.
go.
But where I have it set, it's along a fence line and there's a tree there. So when I put the IMAX up, I can weave it between the branches of the
Yeah.
tree. So when the wind catches it, it won't tip over, but it's not touching the branches or leaves, when the leaves are out. So it doesn't affect it that way. So yeah, it's a pretty good setup. It's not very high, but it just gives me more incentive to get out there and see what I can work.
Absolutely, Debbie. You don't need to be high at all. A tripod will work just fine. And weaving it in between the branches is a smart idea. I would do the same. I might do that with my Antron, as long as it's not, the antenna is not like right up against the trunk of the tree. Shouldn't have any problems in between the branches. Even if the branches touch, it won't do a single thing. Trust me. And so, yeah, great idea with a tripod. You don't want it to tip over. You just do that. Good idea, Deb.
Yeah, I have the tripod anchored in the ground, and yeah, it works. I had the IMAX on there before, and worked fine. It stayed up. It did better than my 2 meter antenna, which toppled over a couple times, but it wasn't in as good of location. But it's in a good location for you hearing me, so I'll leave it there. Anyway, I think I'll make this my last transmission for the night, and I'll let you do your last round, which will probably be short by the sounds of it. So I'll say 7-3 and good net, good job, and hopefully we'll catch you on next week, if not before. VA3OYL.
Okay, Debbie, always a pleasure to have you with us. And yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I usually monitor this frequency throughout the day. And so if I'm near the radio, if somebody keys up there, we're always usually there to say hello. So thanks again for checking in with us, Deb. Much appreciated. So you're check-in number 16, along with three other check-ins were from YouTube, and one of them was VE3KKP. I don't know if you heard, but Kevin has been in the hospital for a little over a week now, going on 2, and he should be coming home hopefully by Friday. So thanks again, Deb.
Okay, good. Thanks for the information on Kevin, and hopefully it's not a long run like it was a couple years back there. 7-3.
Okay, 7-3, Deb. All right, so before we go through our 7-3 round, let's see if we have anyone else out there who would like to check in with us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group, AREG. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu. Anyone, anywhere, please come now.
Recheck VE3LBI.
Yes, Larry, go ahead.
Did you happen to if you still want to announce it or whatever, look at the space weather.
Look at the space weather. You mean like on QRZ?
Well, the K index is 5.67, major storm. The A is at 29, and we got the SFI is 139, and the sunspots are 97.
Yeah, very good. And at the bottom it says solar flare probability of only 10%. So that's not bad. Yeah. On QRZ right now it says SFI 136 and sunspots 96. And the A index is 29, and the K index is 5. So very good. Thanks for that, Larry.
Yeah, it might be a little tough for the next couple of days, maybe today for sure. Anybody wants to run a HF?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we've had many good days, so having a couple of rough ones there is par for the course there, Larry. We're gonna make this your 7-3 round.
Yep, okay, no problem. Yep, I'll listen along for everybody else anyway. So, yep, all right, 7-3, everybody, VE3, LBI.
Okay, thanks again, Larry. So let's go to the top, and KMQ usually doesn't stick around, but let's give it a shot anyways. VE3 KMQ. VE3 Golf Bravo Delta. George, are you back yet? Okay, Arpad already said he was signing off, and that leaves us with VA3 Indy Mike Whiskey. Mac, come on in.
Okay, Chuck, as usual, Wednesday evening hump day, garbage day for you. Good to hear everybody on the radio. Just terribly sorry that we haven't heard from North End Richard tonight, but we'll keep our hopes up for him as well. Cabbage and all the rest of the stuff to go with it. Anyways, thanks for doing what you're doing, Chuck. Appreciate you keeping up the heritage. 7-3. Victor Alpha Tree, Indy by Mike Whiskey. Bleh, bleh. Tripping over my tongue. Back to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pickled cabbage juice, Richard. I'm going to send him a message on Facebook and tell him that he's very much missed here on the AREG, and maybe that'll give him some incentive to charge up his handheld and give us a shout next week. Thanks for that, Mac. And you too. Tomorrow is a work from home day, so a little bit easier for the work day. Don't have to commute. So you take care, Mac, and thank you for all your help for the radio amateur radio community. So we'll clear with VA3 IMW, and let's go to the West End. VA3 November Charlie Alpha.
Yeah, great net as usual. Again, Chuck, thanks for doing it, and good evening to all. And yeah, as we said, as people have said, Kevin, feel better and rejoin us here on the air. I think you had a pretty good turnout tonight, Chuck. 16ish, 17ish, something like that. Anyways, good turnout for the AREG, and looking forward to the next one. Thanks for doing it, Chuck. VA3NCA, back to net control.
All right, very good, Wade. I see Kevin has posted on the YouTube stream there. He just wrote POTA, and then I wrote CQ POTA. So very good there, Kevin. Keep your spirits up. I know it's got to be boring as heck. Hopefully you get your batteries charged up and we can chat tomorrow in the morning. If not, we can always do FaceTime there on the computer and the phone. Okay, very good then. So and while I'm at it, I want to say thank you to everyone on the YouTube live stream who came in tonight and listened to us. Very much appreciated. And so let's go down the list and see who's next. And that would be Tomash, if he's still there. VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform. Okay, with nothing heard, let's see if Al finished eating. Well, he did say he had to go in the house, so I'm assuming his shack is in the garage or in his Radio Shack outside, but let's give him a call. VA3 NFL. Well, I know Art is horizontal right now and sleeping, so let's jump over to Rick. VE3 Bravo Kilowatt.
Yeah, well, we'll say good evening to everybody on net, and another good net there, Chuck. So anyway, and again, anybody wants to know about soldering, they have some good stuff there on YouTube. So or email me and I'll send you the link if you can't find it. But anyway, that's about it for me. And good night there, Chuck. How many do you have tonight?
We have 13 radio check-ins and 3 check-ins on YouTube. And that doesn't count. I don't count myself at all in there. So those are all others.
Roger on that. Yeah, well, hey, it'll probably get better as time goes on. And that is still a good number there. Too bad we couldn't get Reg in there tonight. But I did talk to him last night, and he was doing okay. So anyway, tonight he's just not on there. Well, it'd be early morning there in Australia. So now that the time has changed, it's 12 hours difference again. So 10 o'clock at night here is 10 in the morning there. Anyway, so there you go, Chuck. So 73 to everybody on that, and good night again, Chuck. VA3CW or CJZBE3BK.
Okay, Rick, thanks for sticking around and being part of our net there and giving out information. Much appreciated, Rick. So we'll clear with VE3 Bravo Kilowatt. And I know I said goodnight to Rick, but let's see if he's there. VA3AXJ. All right, next will be VE3 TGL. Uwe, are you there? All right, well, we already said 7-3 to LBI and Debbie OYL. So with that, we've got a minute left before it's 10 p.m. Perfect timing. So the temperature is now 2.6 degrees outside the CJZ studio. So I wish you all the best until next week. I do want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. It's what makes this net a lot of fun. So thanks for all your input and your check-ins. No matter what you contribute, as long as you check in and say hello, that's all that matters. So thank you very much once again. This is Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, closing the Amateur Radio Exchange Group for week 1539. Thank you all, and I now return the frequency back to regular use. I just need to take a short break, and I'll be back here or on the ZOE. Thank you again. 7-3.